Just stop thinking about it. Are you on your period? You're being overdramatic. Just stop thinking about it. These are just a few of the most ridiculous phrases that are said to people with mental illness. It's funny how we all try to avoid the conversation of mental health because we all just assume it doesn't happen around us. But actually, researchers in the past few years have been finding statistics that say otherwise. Take a look at the people around you. Now, did you know that 1 in every 4 people will experience a mental health problem in any given year? That means within the small group of friends around you, one of you would have experienced this. And let's say each of us has a family consisting of at least 4 people. That means 1 person in each of our families. Another important statistics, which kind of explains why I decided to do this presentation, is that 3 out of 4 young people are afraid of the reactions of their friends when talking about their mental health problems. You might be thinking, who am I to talk about something like this? Well, actually, 1 out of 4 of those people in both of these statistics is actually me. Ever since I was young, I had the tendency to worry about a lot of things. But at that age, I assumed it was nothing, because all of us tend to worry about a lot of things. It was until I started high school and it got worse. I woke up feeling afraid all the time because I felt as if something bad was going to happen every day. And as the day went on, I'd get scared to go to class, talking to people, talking to my own family, because I was just too afraid that something was going to happen. And you see, now this is the first time I'm ever going to start talking about it. But this isn't just for the benefit of myself, but for everybody else who feels the same way. And maybe one of you or a few of you are in this room as well. You see, in this day and age, our society has created a construct where our body is favored more than our minds. And so all of us unconsciously have this favoritism of our body over our minds. Wherever we look, in the media, in magazines, on the internet, on TV, all we ever hear is the pressure of how important it is we present ourselves to others and how we look. Although it's good that you want to go to the gym, you want to have a fit body, you want to have a healthy life, but what's the point of being fit and having a healthy body when you're mentally unhappy with yourself? And so, we need to stop this favoritism over our bodies, over our minds, because it creates the illusion that our society doesn't care. And so the people who are responsible for promoting that mental health care towards everybody, such as the government and health institutions, don't care as well. I come from Indonesia, a country that is heavily religious. And whenever somebody is known to be mentally ill, they're directly associated with being possessed, and that they're associated with evil spirits and black magic. And so because of being uneducated and the lack of funds given towards the country, what they do is, in Indonesia, we call it pasung. It's when you cage people up, lock them, and starve them. And this is just a photograph of one of the patients who had stayed at a mental institution before she passed away after 2 years. They aren't even given the proper mental care that they need. The only care that they're given is through religion practices, because they assume that by putting religion onto this, that the demons inside them will somehow leave and that they would recover. This also exactly shows the stigma that comes with mental illness. How come physical illness is seen differently from mental illness? Let's say in the situations where somebody has cancer or any other type of disease. They're seen as heroes because they're strong enough to battle their own diseases throughout the years that they've overcome it. But when somebody comes out to being mentally ill, they're seen to be attention-seeking and selfish and overdramatic. The mentally ill is seen as a group of people who are something to be ashamed of. And this is also caused by the strong stereotype that we all associate it with. And the language that comes with it matters as well. You see, the top 3 words that are associated with being mentally ill is psycho, nuts, and crazy. We're associated with extreme causes, with the big headlines that show all these mentally ill people who have caused harm towards the society, such as mass shootings and social harm. And because of this, it causes fear in people. And when there is fear and people not being educated enough on the topic, it ends up to becoming the idea of avoidance and discrimination against the group. As a society, we need to learn to create a friendly environment for those who want to talk about their mental health problems. We need to be there to support them. Because instead of seeing it as an opportunity to talk about their mental health problems and ask for help, they instead see it as a consequence. And we can do this by educating ourselves and others, although that's seen in a much more bigger audience than we're capable of. So let's start with ourselves. There is a way that we can start understanding more about mental health and how we can also learn to understand ourselves and others better. And this is known through a new concept, mental hygiene. Think about it. When was the last time you thought about your mental health? With adults having so much work to do and pretty much students being in school, it's a sign up for us to go insane. And because of this, we need to take the time of day to think about ourselves and reflect and rest our minds. Every time you think you're tired because you're not getting enough sleep, it's because your mind is mentally thinking about so many different things at once, and we all need a rest sometimes. Self-care can be done through many different ways, and what works best for us depends on who we are ourselves. We all have the tendency to compare ourselves with others. We take the best parts out of everybody else and beat ourselves up for it because we don't have that as well. We need to learn that the strengths and weaknesses that we have ourselves make us who we are, and they make us different. In a world that tries so hard to make us hard against ourselves and others, we need to learn to be self-compassionate. Although this is a battle between ourselves, this is also a battle between following a reason and emotion. Because throughout our life, we hear different things given by the media and heard by society. And so because of this, we sometimes react negatively to the topic of mental health. But also, we have emotion. Emotion is what makes us human. Whenever we're put into a certain situation, there's a feeling that's triggered inside of us, such as empathy and care. So whenever next time you're put into a situation where somebody asks you for help and they need your help to just listen, don't ever think that we need to do something miraculous or big. Sometimes people just need someone to listen and be there for them. And so instead of all the phrases that we've heard before, we need to learn more. We need to hear more about we're being here for you. Your feelings are valid, and that your mental health is important. So whenever you have an ADHD friend who's doing the weirdest things, you need to be patient with him. Or you know a girl who's having anxiety in her class and she seems to get nervous over everything, just give her some support because she needs that help. And so there's only one question left to ask you. How is your mental hygiene? Thank you.